Hello, in this example I'm going to show how to return a collection of data back from a flow to a Power App. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly create an app, and that's going to collect some data from a flow that I will call. Now, one of the tricks really is that normally this is more difficult if you're using the respond to Power App or flow action, but this is a lot easier if you just use a response action. So let me create a new flow. It's going to be a Power Apps button. It's going to be the list of accounts. So list rows from Dataverse. So here I'm going to choose the accounts table and pick up the account ID and the name fields from Dataverse. Now we can run this here and see the data that comes back from this action. So if I test this now manually and run it, we can see the kind of data that comes back from Dataverse. So if you click to download, you can see quite a lot of data here. Useful tip is to use these extensions in Edge. So I've got JSON formatter here. So I'm just going to format this using the JSON formatter. So refresh the page. You can see there's a lot of data that's come back, and also for each item there's some extra tags. So what we're going to do is clean this up a little bit before you return it back to Power Apps, just again to keep the payload nice and compact. So I'm going to add in a step which is a data operation called a select data operation, and that's going to take in the value from Dataverse. I'm going to map the ID from the account unique identifier and the name from the account name. Okay. Now if I click save now, that will bring back a smaller collection, so we're going to test that again just to see what we've got. Run the flow, done, select, and look at the output body here. So this is the body that we want, so we're going to now use that in the next step, which is to respond to Power Apps. Now we're not going to use respond to Power App or flow because that can only return scalar values. Instead we're going to use this response action here, which will return the response. Now the body that we want is the output from here, and we're going to generate from this sample payload. Now the trick here is to make sure that we're only using the square brackets within the result response that comes back. So we've got an array, an object, a strings for each of those values, and the ID and name are required. So that will return back that response to Power Apps. So if I now go back to Power Apps and call the list of accounts, I need to actually modify the action on this automate button, which is called list of accounts. And then run it. Okay. And then what I need to do here is put in a clear collect, and it's going to assign it into this collection called call accounts. So let's run that again. View the collection, and we can see the ID and the name have been brought back. Okay, so just to show that in the app itself, stick that here, move this down, edit the fields, add the fields that we want, ID and name. So hope that's been helpful. Thank you for watching, and enjoy building apps and running flows.